Welcome to the More Phenomenal Podcast. We talk all things Power Rangers, including action figures, comics, movies, TV shows, rumors, news, and fan films.
Yeah.
Today,
Yeah.
I'm
Bootleg.
Doug. Joined with Mac and Caitlin, my co-host. What's up?
Hello,
Oh,
hello.
I'm pretty good. It sucks not having Power Rangers on Netflix anymore, but I think we're surviving.
Yeah. I didn't know. People kept saying, like, throwing around Paramount Plus as an option. And
Hmm.
I didn't know what that was, but according to the Super Bowl commercial I watched, it's like not even out yet.
No, it comes
No,
out
it's
March 4th.
yeah, it's not. It's
I
not
saw
out
that
yet.
commercial and I went, that's where Power Rangers is gonna go.
I was looking because there was like I saw Ninja Turtles, I saw some other
Because it's all
cartoons.
the Viacom stuff, so they can put it there, and
Yeah.
it's also it's gonna be like the CBS All Access shows too, right?
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So
I was watching the Super Bowl. I was like, is this going to be some breaking news I'm about to catch right now? Like, am I going to see a Power Ranger on this mountain in this
Yeah,
yeah, with
commercial?
Beavis and
Danny.
Butthead, and
Yeah, yeah.
I even backed it up and paused and like looked at all the characters and I couldn't find it. My mom's like, "What are you looking for?" I was looking for Power Rangers.
I
Mom."
know. That makes sense. But it also, like, didn't we hear rumors that Nickelodeon Power Rangers are splitting? So also, would it make sense?
Yeah, just because Power Rangers airs on Nickelodeon, I don't think that that's enough of a reason to think they're going to do it.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
We'll see what happens after Dino Fury because I think that's when we're going to get a whole makeover of what's going on.
oh
And I
crap,
doubt
I forgot to watch the trailer.
The Dino Fury trailer?
Yeah,
Uh,
let's pull it up.
it's okay.
I
Yeah.
I don't know. Like it would make sense for them to put it on Paramount because it's so new.
Mhm.
Um, it's just gonna bring all sorts of walks of life to buy the streaming.
Mhm.
And I watched it and I got mad because I saw a bunch of shows that I like on it and I went, man, now I have to get another streaming.
Yeah, I know.
Well, it's not unprecedented for stuff to leave other services just to boost a new service, like
Yeah.
when everything left Hulu to go to HBO Max and stuff like
Yeah.
that, or when
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. I think it's kind of also like Paramount, you really got to call it Paramount Plus. Like, we know what you're taking the plus from. You couldn't come up with something else.
Yeah,
Right?
no. I
Mm.
mean, HBO Max is at least a little bit more creative.
Or
Or you
Yeah.
could just
CBS All Access.
yeah, All Access. Yeah, that's a little better. I mean, just call it the Paramount Channel or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I
Like,
know.
don't think about it too hard. I liked
Yeah.
when they called it Paramount Mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why I just like want to be in those rooms. Like, we'll just call it Paramount Plus, just like Disney. It's
Yeah.
like, sounds good.
Like, we're gonna fail in a year. Who cares? Yeah.
Uh,
Ugh.
well, what was I gonna say? Speaking of streaming, the Ninja Steel is back on Netflix.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
your post about that.
Wasn't it like the next day or something that you discovered that?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was taken off. I thought I was going crazy. I thought, did I just not see this when I searched Power Rangers that day? But some other people confirmed that it was gone the original date, and then they put it back on the next day. So
Oh, maybe they made a mistake or something.
yeah,
Yeah. Or they were like, oh, maybe we should give them another one.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm sure it was some guy being like, "We're just gonna delete everything," and they're like, "No, we're supposed to keep like this year to this year."
Maybe
Okay.
they won't notice.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get Ninja Steel back.
Yeah. Well, when
Some
I
poor
saw that,
intern messed up.
yeah.
He's fired.
When I saw that, when I searched Power Rangers on Netflix, because I was gonna watch Mighty Morphin, and then that like a third option, it wasn't just Mighty Morphin and Beast Morphers and Ninja Steel. In my head, I had like the Yurkai in the Two Towers voice, where I'm like, Ninja Steel's back on the market, boy.
Yeah, we're back on the menu. Yeah,
Back on the menu. Yeah.
That's pretty funny. Yeah.
So I think we should watch Ninja Steel next week because that character Mac is gonna be in Dino Fury. So we should get reacquainted with that guy.
Right. Wait.
Not
Who's
you,
in
Mac,
Dino Fury?
but Mac,
What's his
Mac
name?
in the
Mick.
Dino
Yeah,
Fury.
Mac, not Mac. Yeah, Mac is from Operation Overdrive.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mick,
Yeah.
is that his name?
Mick. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Mick Mac.
It'd be
Yeah.
funny if Operation Overdrive guy came back for no reason.
Yeah, he's a robot, so it's not like he can die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's probably in a box in
Yeah.
Angel Grove.
Maybe he's stuck in his own WandaVision with some witch.
Mm.
Mystic
Oh,
Force.
I need
Yeah.
to catch up on that show.
Oh.
Speaking of shows to catch up on.
The newest episode's the one that actually like made me go back and watch the other ones.
Wait, what do you mean? Like rewatch the other ones?
I had not watched them, and then I heard what happened in episode 5, and then I watched episode 5, and then I was like, oh.
You watched
Okay.
episode 5 on its own?
Yeah.
You just watched episode
You
5.
just decided
Yeah.
to jump in 5 episodes in.
Because of the spoiler at the end?
Yeah.
That's not even that cool. That wasn't even
Don't
like,
tell me I haven't watched. I'm
Oh
on
my-
episode 3.
What?
I can't believe you did.
I got
That's your
behind
opinion.
and I
Yeah.
decided to wait. I'm trying to like wait so then I can just watch 2 episodes.
We
at a time.
watch episodes 37 of seasons.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
this
but
is
Power
a
Rangers
9.
is different.
Yeah, it's like a 9-episode miniseries. It's like
Is that how many there are? 9?
it's like 8 or 9 or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
did see did you guys watch the Super Bowl commercials?
Oh,
they showed-
the Falcon Winter Soldier. commercial?
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched.
I
The
started
extended one.
screaming in my kitchen. My mom was like, "What happened?" And I was like, "Oh, sorry, the commercial."
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
She thought I'd like stabbed myself or something.
Yeah.
Good. But
Good
I'm
times.
disappointed you and Doug.
Yeah, I'm disappointed too. I can't believe you decided to jump into episode 5. At least if you heard the spoiler, watch them and then lead up to 5.
Yeah.
You know?
I haven't even heard the spoiler yet.
What?
Did-
How have you been on the internet and not?
I actually don't have that many friends that are watching it. So, but I mean, to be fair, I was on a ship for 3 months before I got to see Infinity Wars, and I managed to go completely unspoiled.
Wow.
I guess it's just about what you follow, you know.
Yeah.
If you have yeah.
Let's see. Oh, Dino Fury, we got a trailer. 30 seconds.
Woohoo!
Just more. It's more of the same of what the other trailer was. Just Power Rangers fighting. The only
Yeah.
reveal thing that I saw people were saying, like, the cockpit of the Megazord isn't. It's just them standing in a room again.
Oh, it's like the magical.
Yeah, it looks
One.
exactly like Samurai, where they're standing.
Their hands are over like a thing.
Yeah.
I feel like I kind of like that more.
Sometimes
Really?
I
The
like
actual
that more.
cockpit, yeah.
Yeah, I like that more too sometimes because the vaguer the better, in my opinion. I don't like when there's a bunch of buttons because then I have to know what each button does.
Mm,
And I
Or is it
kind of
just being like voice commands?
and it's like I don't think you can pilot a robot like you can pilot a car or you know what I mean or drive a car. So sometimes
And in my head, something that big, the cockpit cannot be the size of a like fighter jet.
yeah, and
Yeah,
well
okay.
when they're all in the command room, like it definitely looks cool because it looks like, you know, they're commanding it. But it's also, like I said, like too much to explain. Like I like the Pacific Rim, like they're just moving the robot when they move their bodies or like you moving it with their mind or something. Because it's like, it's magic anyway.
Have you seen this in the trailer and some of the promotional art or photos? There's this purple guy, this knight looking dude.
For Dino Fury?
Yeah,
No, I haven't.
Oh,
Look
I
him
didn't see
up.
that.
just look up like Dino Fury purple. I bet homie
And
comes
you'll
up.
bet he'll come up.
Yeah, let me. I'll
Dino
try with you.
Fury.
But he just. Okay, well, I'll take a second. Purple guy, Dino
Purple.
Purple Ranger.
Fury.
Oh, this night guy looks sweet.
I was like, is this the dude from Mystic Force? Is he?
He does look like the knight for me. but you know, it doesn't seem like they're really leaning into the knight aspect of Dino Fury in the Power
Yeah.
Ranger version.
Wait,
Yeah.
I have 2 different versions. I have one that looks like a purple Black Panther, and then I have like a knight.
Yeah, it's the
The
knight.
one with the
Oh,
it's the
okay.
one with the shield and the big shoulder pads.
Got
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The Jungle
looks like he'd
Fury
be a-
guy comes up too. That's funny.
Yeah, the Jungle Fury guy.
But yeah, now that I look at him closer, yeah, he doesn't look like the dude from Mystic Force, but he still has that same aesthetic going on.
They could fight. They could easily fight.
I know.
It says here they're calling him a Void Knight.
Yeah.
That must be what he's called in Sentai. Or no, wait, that was a Power Ranger link. You're right. Let me see.
So yeah,
Galaxy of Chaos.
It literally has no comments, but it says what's his name and Ranger roll call, and it just has quotations, exclamation, question mark, exclamation.
Yeah.
That's what he says. He just- yeah. Yeah. We got a date, February 20th, 8 a.m.
Woo.
That is very cool.
Yeah,
That's
excited
pretty
to see it.
soon.
Yeah, very soon.
I don't have
So,
Nickelodeon though. I don't know how I'm gonna watch it.
yeah, no, they better put it on some streaming something, you know?
Maybe you can go on Nickelodeon's website and see.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. Well, excited for that. More to
I'm
come.
gonna tell my mom and be like, ready for the DVR.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
get
gonna
that
be some
DVR
Power
ready.
Rangers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to
Uh,
watch it at Nina's mom's house.
Yeah. Set the alarm.
Yeah.
I mean, we watched that one episode that aired in the UK early. It was just on the internet somewhere. So I'm sure this will be up somewhere.
Yeah, it won't be that. I mean, I'm sure that we'll have to have some kind of bootleg internet option from now on.
Yeah,
seeing
yeah.
as we can go on Netflix.
Yeah. Sweet. But let's get in. We got two things we're talking about this week.
We got to fill the void.
Yeah.
Void
Let's
Night.
do the lost episode first, because I think
Okay.
this one
I liked
is
it.
easier to get through than or
I actually took notes on that one, so
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So the lost episode is, I guess, I'm not sure how to describe it because it's more than just the pilot of Power
Yeah.
Rangers.
so you guys watched. I'm glad you guys watched the whole thing. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to skip to the end, but
Yeah,
I
me
liked
too.
I liked the Jason and Zach parts.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of felt like, so is this I'm assuming by just from where they stopped the like catch up review of Power Rangers at Lost Galaxy. I'm assuming this is probably like a surprise special episode that they had in between Lost Galaxy and whatever was next.
And in space.
Yeah.
No,
I
Lost
read-
Galaxy hadn't come out yet, or it was just premiering.
Oh, okay, so it was
Yeah.
just about to premiere. Okay.
I read this on one of the Wikipedias I read, so I could be wrong. Is
Okay.
this aired after episode 7 or 8 of Lost Galaxy?
Okay, so it had just premiered basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they do mention it. So maybe it was
Yeah,
on
they do
like
mention
those
it.
weird hiatuses that TV shows used to do.
Yeah.
Well, it seemed like they were it seemed like it was more of like a commemorative thing. They kept talking
Mhm.
about how Power Rangers had reached 300 episodes
Mhm.
or
Oh,
over
yeah, that's
300
true.
episodes.
Yeah.
So
My thing with this though, so it starts out with Zach and Adam, Jason, just going through the history of Power Rangers,
In a minute.
in a minute. Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
should be pretty caught up. You've seen
Yeah.
multiple catch-ups.
Now I know. Now I know where everything is.
Yeah.
yeah, this one was not as informative as the sort of Dino
I don't
Thunder.
that I didn't know about the fact that they were turned into children to find this
Oh,
Neo.
they left
like,
that out.
God.
They left that out. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're talking about that, and then they're just like, and we got the pilot that's ever before seen. I do like before they get to the pilot, the banter between Jason and Zach.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That they're like, "Hey, I liked when you became the Gold Ranger," and then what? Who's saying what?
What do you
Um,
mean?
Zach
well,
is
at
like, "Hey, I
first they
like when you
started
became the
saying
Gold
how-
Ranger."
Yeah. Well, at first they were saying how they were better, like
Mhm.
who was the better ranger, and then they like realized that they were being mean to each other, and so then suddenly started complimenting each other, and so there was like, you had a great. You were the Gold Ranger, and then he said you had that cool hip hop episode, and it was like super random, like
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well,
like
they at first. Sorry, go ahead.
Go
No,
ahead.
no,
Go
go
ahead,
ahead.
Mac.
No, at first it was like Jason was like, well, like I fought Goldar all by myself, and then
Yep.
Zach's like, what about my birthday episode?
Yeah.
and then like, and then Jason said something else, or
Yeah.
Austin said something else,
Yeah.
and then Zach said, what about like he referenced like an episode where they fought spiders or something,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I was like, I don't know what that one is. I thought that he would bring up the time he wore the shield, but he didn't.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, and then they become friends, and then they're friends. They talk. Yeah, he
Yeah.
compliments
Yeah.
about keto. Did you guys notice that Jason was wearing a fanny pack?
No.
No.
No, I did not
Maybe it was
know.
just like
Yeah.
so in place at the time period. It wasn't out like it wasn't.
Yeah.
Noticeable.
It blends in. And it was
Yeah.
black too, but yeah, he was
Yeah.
wearing a fanny.
I just
I think
thought during that. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say my favorite part was while they were doing the catch up, he was like, and then they got new toys and shiny weapons.
Yeah, and even
and,
shinier weapons. Yeah, that was like my favorite
and there's a
thing
new
to say.
team. And he just like kept saying that because he the first time he was like, and then we had a new team and they got new outfits. And then the next time he was like, And then there's another new team, but they got shinier weapons.
Yeah.
They
Just
got
trying
even
to keep
newer
making it
outfits.
new.
Yeah.
I was like, good job trying to keep it fresh.
I like that joke too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just was thinking, they brought Zach back for this. He's been MIA pretty much ever since.
You mean like from promotional stuff?
Well, just like I feel like they've brought back a lot of people, and he hasn't
Right.
showed up.
Well,
I guess
it's
him
funny.
and Billy too, but yeah, I don't know.
Well, at this point, we'd already even had Adam returning as the Black Ranger once.
Mhm.
You know, like that could have easily been Zach.
Yeah.
You know, so it's funny. It's funny that you're right. You're right. I wonder what that's about.
And then they decide to show the pilot episode. Oh, one thing they do say is like, they're like, yeah, we pretty much ripped off Jew Ranger.
Mhm.
Yeah, they briefly touch on Sentai a little bit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I thought that was cool. Got to hear that theme song again. I liked it.
Yeah, it was cool. I wonder for a lot of kids watching if that was the first time they knew that. You know,
Mhm.
I mean, it's not like Power Rangers is quick to remind you of that very often. So
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was kind of cool to see that they were very upfront about the history of Power Rangers,
yeah.
like where they came from.
And they almost made it seem like it was Sentai's idea to adapt it with English actors. Like I can't remember
Mhm.
exactly what Jason says, but it's sort of like, and then they just, they new people became, and I was like, well, that's not really what happened. You know, like they watched it and was like, we can do that for cheap. You know,
Yeah.
but anyway,
And then we jump into the pilot. It's
Yeah.
It's almost the same as the original, but just not as good.
it's not as flushed out. You know, it doesn't have as many scenes in it. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought that where it was different, maybe it's just because we've seen Mighty Morphin so many times,
Mhm.
but I had a lot of fun watching some of the stuff that was unique to the pilot. Like I thought that the bowling alley was a really cool location.
Mhm.
They
Yeah,
got
I
to
was
do a
about
lot
to
of fun
ask, was
stuff.
that in the first episode, like in the premiered
No,
one?
they're not in
Okay.
the bowling alley.
I was like,
think
I don't
we've
remember
ever
a
gone
bowling
bowling,
alley.
but
Yeah.
it looked really cool. I thought that it was a nice setting, and I also liked the original Trini. I didn't think she was offensive at all. She was cool, and some of her fight scenes were better than any of the other characters.
Yeah.
I mean, like we'll get into it, but
Yeah.
well, they're all bowling, and like if they get in that fight with a bunch of bullies,
Yeah.
and Bulk is just one of the goons. He's not even he's not even the lead bully or anything.
Was
And
was Bulk and Skull there? Just
Skull
different
wasn't there.
actors?
Skull
Skull
okay.
wasn't there.
but
Okay.
Bulk
I
was
wasn't
there.
sure if they were like just different actors.
Yeah.
But
Bulk?
it seemed like they had no reservations with beating the crap out of these guys
Yeah.
at the bowling alley. Like it seems like in Power Rangers, they're not as willing to just like be like, oh, you're disrespecting us. Like it was like a gang fight. Like they're
Yeah,
just like
totally.
and they mop the floor with these guys. Like I said, Trini does not like she just starts roundhouse kicking this guy like as soon as the fight starts. She takes on the lead goon. It's not even Jason fighting the main dude.
Yeah, that was one of the things that they realized they wanted to cut out because they thought it was too violent, because this is the only time you see people on people fights.
It's
That's
super violent. Yeah.
Oh, good
Yeah.
point.
That's why they changed it to all the fights now are with putties and stuff.
Because those aren't real people.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
definitely felt like they were solving the
Oh.
problem with their fists. Like, right away,
Yeah.
So I was
Instead
like,
of
wow, yeah,
being-
this is edgy.
Yeah.
I know.
But
And
that,
my first thought was, really, these are your picks for Power Rangers? Like, good Zordon, you're picking children that just beat up other children in a
Well,
bowling
yeah,
alley?
that's who you pick, right? I mean, like they're not going to pick the gang that
Aren't they
lost
supposed
the
to be
fight.
like nice and wholesome? No, these kids just beat up other bullies at a bowling alley.
Well, I mean,
that's like in Mystic Force, they're like, you can't use your magic to solve it. You gotta kill them.
Yeah. No, but I couldn't like obviously this is sort of its own thing, but I couldn't really blame Zordon. I mean, who are your options? The kids that lost or the kids that won? I mean, they already know karate. Half your job is done. They're already color coordinated.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's true.
That one bully was like the leader guy. He was kind of intense though.
He was, and he got
Yeah,
really
with
up in Kimberly's
Kim.
face.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, this is intense for a kid show.
Yeah, no, he
I
was
like
like,
what you-
and you're gonna make it up to me when at the movies later.
Yeah.
Oh.
And she was
Like,
like, gross, I don't kiss
no.
non-humans. I thought that was a great line.
I was like, okay.
Or I don't
And-
go out with non-humans, is I think what you said.
Oh,
Yeah.
and then there's the live broadcast of the moon.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we interrupt this program to bring you like breaking news. They found alien life. I was like, you guys, they should have like this. You guys weren't waiting for this. This is a big deal. Alien
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
I looked at they were watching Samurai Pizza Cats on the TV before.
Is that what that was? I was
Oh, I
trying to
didn't
figure
know
out what the cartoon was. I was like, is
And-
it Pokemon? What is this?
Funny enough, Samurai Pizza Cats is very similar to Power Rangers because it was an anime that they took and redubbed in the United States and completely changed the plot. None
Oh,
of the
really?
dialogue was like they didn't have any of the scripts for the original show, so they made everything up from scratch. And so it's kind of funny, like that's what they had on the TV.
Funny.
Huh. Interesting.
Basically
Yeah.
saying this is what we're doing too.
This
Yeah.
is what we're doing. Yeah, I know.
And then from
I think
here,
that the
oh, go for it.
dialogue on the moon just
Uh,
really, I was like, what?
Yeah,
the
they're like,
voices
"Oh,
are
it's weird."
different.
Stinks. Let's go look at it.
Yeah, they can
Uranus.
smell it through their helmets.
Yeah.
And also, and I love that, like, just like in the original, they're insistent on it being a dumpster. And it's like, I don't care how many astronauts tell me that's a dumpster. It's not a dumpster. It doesn't look like a dumpster.
I would have thought it was a well.
Yeah.
It's like, if anything, you should call it a trash can, but they're not calling it that. So whatever.
Yeah. And then from here, it's kind of the same as the original. Zordon pulls them, and then it kind of, for the most part, beat for beat is the same.
The dialogue of them in the command center being told that they're going to be Power Rangers, and then them being like, "I don't want to do this." That was almost exactly the same. It felt
Yeah.
like that scene.
Oh wait! It's Zoltar.
Yeah,
Not
that's what I was
Zordon.
about to say. I was shocked by I don't know which one I like better. Like I know Zordon, but I was like Zoltar kind of sounds mystic.
Zoltar does sound
Zoltar
cool.
isn't that the name of the fortune-telling machine in Big?
Is it?
I
Probably
couldn't
is.
tell
Maybe
you.
that's why they changed it.
That's why I'm here. I'm going to Google it.
Yeah.
But,
And Alpha's look.
Alpha is like the Ralph McQuarrie concept art Alpha. Yeah, Zoltar is the wise fortune-telling like carnival machine.
Oh, well then that's probably why they changed it.
What I didn't like was the weird anamorph sequence.
Oh my god, I wrote that
Yes.
down. I wrote I'm not sure about this Animorph sequence.
It made me think of the books. Do you guys remember those book covers where it was like human
Exactly.
to animal? It just flashed me back to that, and that gave me like nightmares as a child.
Well, I think they had that in Power Rangers, like some of the VHS covers. It must have been from this. It must have been like, I don't know,
don't
but
like it.
I did not like that.
It felt like someone told Saban, like, we can stretch their faces and then transition into the dinosaurs. And he's like, yeah, that was the production value.
It freaked me out. I was not a fan of it, especially Trini's.
I
Trini's
know.
was like the most
Oh,
disturbing.
Yeah, 'cause
I
she
didn't-
puts her hand
Kimberly's
out.
is a little weird. What?
They kind of like move their hands and stuff to match
Yeah.
the animal for no reason.
You
I'm glad
should
that-
screen
glad that's
grab
in
the
there.
like in between versions and put them on Instagram. Like as like they're just like their faces are wide.
Which
but they're
one's the
not
most
dinosaurs.
disturbing?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Have people vote.
Well, look, they kind of do this on the VHS covers, but it's with the robot version.
Oh, they're like becoming the Megazord.
Yeah, it's kind of
okay.
weird.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't
And
know.
the '90s love those freaking transition
I
shots.
know.
Yeah.
I'm glad that died, and it should just stay.
Animorphs is back.
Is it?
Oh, what?
Plastic rebooted it. There's a new kid-friendly graphic novel series for Animorphs that we sell at my work.
Oh,
Yes, and it's super disturbing and creepy.
why?
It's a graphic novel, not a book like the originals. But when you read it, they make sure to have panels for all the mid transformation sequences of them turning into birds and dogs. They get their powers from aliens. I don't remember if that's in the original.
I think it is
But-
because one
Yeah,
of
I
them's an
think so.
alien.
Yeah.
Okay. In this version, they get their powers from aliens and they're supposed to use it to help defend from an alien invasion. One of the kids, but the problem is that if you, this is probably in the original too, that you can get stuck as an animal if you stay
Yep.
as one for too long.
Mhm,
Uh-huh.
mhm.
The end of the book is just one of the kids condemned to be a bird forever. Like he
That's
can never
exactly like the TV show.
yeah. That's creepy. That's
It is
intense.
creepy.
Yeah.
Uh,
Wow.
When they're
No.
animals, do they talk? They're just The animal, right?
in the book they did talk to each other, like
Yeah.
through psychic.
Got it.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
like somehow linked up. I don't think I read all the books, but I remember reading some of them, and I would just have to like cover the front because it just freaked me out. I was like, I don't like this.
So
Who's in that?
show-
Is Iceman in that, or is it his brother? in the
Oh, I don't know.
original
They're
show?
identical.
Yeah.
Wait, in the TV show, one of them gets stuck as a bird forever, and they can do nothing about it. That's just the show.
I don't think I
Yeah.
watched the show.
They're trying to find him, or he's with the crew, but he's a bird. But that happens. I don't remember the show very much, like
Wow.
the overall plot details, but I remember that being
Sean
a
Ashmore.
plot point.
So is Sean Iceman or is that Aaron Ashmore? Let's see.
Yeah, I don't know.
Here's what I have to say about the 90s. I feel like for all of the people that wrote and produced the children's shows, were probably high.
It
no,
is Iceman.
no
It was
sane,
Iceman.
sane man will come up with this.
Well, it seems like a
woman.
good idea, like in theory.
Yeah,
but
the theory is nice, but you don't need to like graphically show us.
Well, it feels like Goosebumps kind of like made everyone think that kids were down for like semi-disturbing content, which they kind of were.
They
I mean,
were.
even if you think about the cartoons that Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network are coming out
Like
with,
Courage.
well, not even Courage, because that's too new. I mean, like All Real Monsters and like Cow and
Oh.
Chicken and stuff. Like those shows are kind of weird. Same with like Ren and Stimpy. Like that's a show that definitely isn't for kids, but they still put it on Nickelodeon, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Well, this definitely falls into that category.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
This
was
episode.
Yeah. The transformation thing is the only thing I know. Otherwise, it's pretty beat for beat. There is some awkward transitions where the Rangers get beat up and they're in the circle of the putties, and the putties are just kind of standing around waiting for them to morph.
Yeah.
I didn't really like how I mean, sometimes Power Rangers does this even in the original show, but
Mhm.
they didn't do a very good job, I felt, like chopping up the footage. Like especially when like Rita was coming to Earth, like it felt like it was happening very fast because they, didn't have as many shots they could use where they were putting in English. And when they were fighting in front of the command center, and then suddenly we're like, we're moving again, and then they were on the roof.
Mhm.
That kind of happens in the first episode too, but it felt like it was so quick,
Yeah.
and it was like, okay, I guess we're on a roof now. But we have to give the unaired pilot credit because it included Rita's bicycle that from the
Yeah.
and they talk about it. Trini mentions the bicycle in the freaking scene.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? What'd she say?
She says, you want us to turn into reptiles so that we can fight a witch from space who rides a bike or rides a
Yeah.
flying bicycle. And
Yeah.
they're like, okay, yeah.
But then everything else is the same. Then
Yeah.
But yeah, the Trini, I liked her. I feel
Me
bad.
too.
Yeah.
So why was this Trini replaced?
I read when I was looking into this, I guess Walter Jones told someone in an interview once that she asked for more money. That could be it. Who knows if that's real or not? I keep
But they
thinking,
hadn't
how
e-
much?
How
Go
much
ahead.
could they have possibly been being paid? I mean, they weren't even SAG actors. The
Yeah.
show hadn't even premiered yet, and she was asking for more money.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's just as funny. It's like if
Seems
that's
sus.
true, she asked for more money, and then Jason and Zach and Trini then asked for more money. That made me go like, what are you paying these guys?
Yeah.
yeah, because that's why they left too. So maybe he was just saying that because he's trying to like be like, that's the only reason they fire people. Trust me.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, I
Seems a
don't
bit
know.
sus.
I almost think like I could be wrong, but I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they just wanted a more diverse person for the
Yeah.
cast.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
they wanted to round out because obviously, I mean, that was definitely a good diversity in kid shows was a big thing in the 90s. Like kind of
Yeah.
having so yeah, that's possibly it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I felt like it could have been anything. I mean, she wasn't even a bad actor. I wouldn't be surprised if she got another show or something, or got
Yeah.
another offer and that didn't work out, or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. I liked her. I thought she did have a presence about her. Huh.
Yeah.
You know.
She stood out. I mean, even amongst like some of them were acting a little weak in comparison. when they delivered their dinosaur names, I felt like Billy and Jason were like, whatever, Tyrannosaurus. I was like, come on, where's Tyrannosaurus? Like, Tyrannosaurus? Like, it's like, okay, I thought you were the leader. Like, I don't,
yeah.
I don't think Jason knows what he's doing yet.
not yet.
I did notice in some of the I saw some fun facts for the real pilot episode, or the real first episode, I should say.
Yeah.
Some of the above shots of them walking in the cliffs, I guess, were reused. So it's this Trini, like you can see her in the real pilot.
Oh, it's
Oh,
switches.
really?
Yeah,
That's funny.
of the overhead shots, because they didn't do those again.
Were they wearing
Awkward.
the same costumes?
No, I don't think
Okay,
so.
that's so funny.
Yeah.
Just didn't have enough time or patience to just film
Yeah.
them walking.
We're not taking our camera all the way back out to Vasquez Rocks. So this is like, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm glad they redid it, and it became the legend that it is. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
The Megazord fight was quick, and yeah, they fought King Sphinx. That was kind of cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Cool. Not really got a thumbs up, thumbs down on that one, because it's so
It was
niche.
better
No,
than
but
I
it was
thought it
fun
would
to
be.
watch.
It is.
Yeah.
It was better than I thought. Oh well,
Yeah.
actually, I do have one last thought. Bulk's hair is crazy.
I
Right?
know.
What
I
is
know.
going on with that?
It's like he has the hair of the Chewbacca person from Spaceballs.
Oh, you mean Barf?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if they're like, you're gonna wear a bandana from now on.
Oh, that was funny.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna be able to unsee that now.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna get into the freaking like
The
exact
bootleg.
opposite of what we just watched.
The exact
Like,
opposite.
totally opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to
Where to start?
You're the first. This is your first time watching.
My
it,
first
Caitlin.
time seeing it. It was intense,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but it was good quality.
it's well made. You
It's
can't
well
deny
made.
it.
The quality
well
I can't knock.
Yeah,
But we're talking about the 2015 fan film. It's called like the bootleg verse, unauthorized.
it's like Power hyphen Rangers or not
It's like
hyphen,
bootleg
slash
universe
Rangers.
or something.
Power hyphen Rangers unauthorized bootleg universe by Audi Shankar.
Yeah, he has a bunch of movies, a bunch of cool short films. He had one about Venom, and he had one about the Punisher, and he even made that Judge Dredd movie with Carl Urban. Which,
Really, I
Yeah.
love that movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie. It's the only
I've
good
seen
Judge
that
Dredd
so many
movie.
times.
But he made that movie, and you can tell. I mean, it's similar vibes. He didn't direct. I don't think he directed either thing. He didn't direct this for sure. He didn't direct this. Some other guy did. I can't remember his name.
Well, I'm looking at the Wikipedia of it, and I didn't know that James Vanderbeek actually helped write it as well.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So he starred in it, and then also helped write it.
That was
He's a
kind of
nerd.
like, I was a little disappointed when I saw that in the credits.
He's friends with that guy, I guess. So maybe they're working it together.
All right, well let's start from the beginning. If you haven't seen it, it's really Rocky interrogates Kimberly because they're looking for Tommy.
Well, if we're setting the stage, it's like years after the Earth has lost to the Machine Empire.
Which look
And-
like Transformers.
And yeah, and Rita is sort of semi. I mean, we'll get to that, but she's like kind of like MIA a little bit, you know.
Mhm.
And the Earth signed a treaty for a peace treaty with the Machine Empire, and they decided to integrate their technology into like the Earth and their infrastructure everywhere, and it was cool, you know. Like it obviously made everything instantly cyberpunk. You know,
Yeah.
there's just holograms everywhere, and
Yeah.
And Rocky has a robot leg now, and we don't know how that happened, but presumably in that fight.
Yeah.
No Adam, you know, I wonder if like they never really explain when Rocky would have even taken over being the Red Ranger. You know?
Yeah.
But whatever.
Well, if they're Machine Empire, I assume it's the same flow of they took over at Mighty Morphin, and then they became Zeo, and then the Machine Empire shows up.
I guess so, yeah. They just leave a lot of that out. It just seems like Rocky's the only thing linked to other seasons, obviously, because everything is so Mighty Morphin and the Machine Empire, but everything else is so Mighty Morphin focused.
Yeah. All right. What did you think, Caitlin?
I liked it. It was fun.
Oh, I'm
I
glad we
don't
have
know.
someone
I
who likes
really
it.
enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I was like, because it was completely off brand, and I was just sitting there enjoying it. I was like, this is a good. I would watch a movie. I would watch. I would watch a full length movie of this and be thoroughly entertained.
I
Nice.
can't call it bad myself, like it's fun to watch in the sense that like it's designed to be fun to watch. It's just a bunch of cool action and but obviously it's nothing that I'd ever want Power Rangers to officially be.
No,
Ever,
but it was
ever,
definitely
but
fun. I was a little confused at first because I couldn't figure out what was happening. I
yeah,
was like, it was a jolt from the beginning scene where you see the Empire and everything, and then to Rocky and Kim. But I was confused that if that was Rocky or not. I was like, okay, wait, what's happening?
she only calls him Rocky once, I think.
Like once,
Yeah,
and so
yeah.
I
and if
must
you
have missed it because I
yeah.
wasn't entirely sure what was happening. But as he started explaining, like people were being murdered, I was like, and he was naming off everyone, and he was looking for Tommy. I was like, okay, that must be Jason then, because he's looking for Tommy,
Right.
and not Rocky. No,
not Jason. Rocky is what you meant to say.
Jason. Sorry, I didn't mean Rocky.
Yeah.
I love Rocky.
Yeah.
I want it to be Rocky. Jason, not Rocky. And then I kind of started piecing it together of whatever I had missed because I was like trying to figure out what was happening. But it was interesting to see Kim and Jason's characters being so dark.
Everyone's dark.
Everyone's dark, but specifically the
Jason?
two of them. At Jason and
or Rocky
Jason,
and
Rocky.
really.
Rocky.
Yeah.
Sorry,
It's okay. It's okay.
everything's confusing in this movie.
Jason has dark scenes too. I mean,
Yeah.
to be granted,
Yeah.
they're like Kill Bill wedding scene.
Yeah.
Did you see that was Bulk and Skull?
Yes.
I missed that the first time. When I rewatched it the second time, they are like straight thug life Bulk and Skull.
I love that.
I loved that part.
That was when it really hit home for me that like this is obviously a parody. I mean, anyone that takes it seriously and it's like I saw some comments being like, this is what the movie should have been. And it's like, okay, I don't know about that. But it's fun to watch as a parody, like it's like the fact that Bulk and Skull were like, thug life kind of like wannabe gangsters. It's like, yeah, that makes sense for like rebooting them. I think that's funny. And I also like, I could not help but laugh at the fact that like Rocky's line was like the Machine Empire's meth was just too good and that's all it took or whatever. Like Bulk and Skull were just like, yeah, like super good robot meth, like sign us up for killing. And then they OD, like they just like or presumably OD, from their pure as hell meth. Like I was like, wow, okay. Like,
well, at first I was confused because it showed who got shot in the car.
Jason.
Okay, so I was confused at first because I was like, wait, was that Jason or Tommy? Because they kept talking about Tommy, and I was like, who just died? So I kept having to back up and like look around.
Yeah, Kimberly's in a relationship with both characters at different points in the story.
Yeah. That's where I got confused because I was like, wait, who is with who at this moment in time?
I guess like they said they were married for like 8 hours or something.
Yeah,
that must have been after Turbo.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. But I like how they seamlessly threw in all the murder scenes by like showing what was happening. And then when he's like basically putting her in a chokehold and is like, I'm gonna kill you unless you tell me where he is. And then freaking Trini's dead. I was like, where did that come from?
Yeah, Trini's like they just sat there at like, oh, last time I saw Tommy was at Trini's funeral. And they don't talk about how she dies, but it seems like they don't mention it because it could be a battle, but it seems like them being at her funeral is sort of like a bit of a meta reference to the fact that the actor who played Trini died in real life.
Oh, I
So
didn't
it's
know
sort
that.
of like if any like oh yeah, like that, in a gritty reboot that would be the last time they saw each other.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
but uh, I think the Zach parts are my favorite. Like all that,
What the
like
hell?
when Rocky's talking about how what happened to Zach, and Kimberly's like, oh, he did the hip hop Aikido tapes, and
Yeah.
then they show the hip hop Aikido workout tape, and it's like straight up the '90s. Like that,
Yes.
I thought
Yeah,
that was
that
super
was my
funny.
favorite
That
part.
was my favorite part. Yeah.
And then like Rocky's like, oh, Zach didn't even need any convincing signing up with the Machine Empire. He just wanted to still fight things. Like he was just addicted to the adrenaline of like the
Mhm.
thrill of the action. And then like
Yeah.
they drop him in freaking Japan to fight those Yakuza guys.
Yeah.
I don't know
North
that.
Korea, I think.
Oh, North Korea. You're right. You're right. Totally North Korea.
So
That was
funny.
that was that
It's
was
like the Batman v Superman warehouse scene for for
oh,
Zach.
it felt like the Zack Snyder Power Rangers for sure. Like
Did you know? I was looking at the IMDb on this. The two girls that are in the bed with Zach
yeah.
are credited as Divatox and Scorpina.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so. Is that just that must be just for fun?
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I saw the credits and I was like, where was Scorpina or Divatox?
They were
Like,
just they had to shacked up with
Funny.
Zach. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
It's a machine world. Why not?
He
Yeah.
did like the freaking line of coke before he started practicing his katas and stuff like that.
Funny.
Yeah.
I didn't even see that. Like, I didn't see the credits say. I just thought they were just two random girls.
The
Yeah, me
credits were
too.
long, so I skipped them. I was like, I'm not.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
this is a lot of credits for
Too
a
many people work on
14-minute
this.
movie.
Yeah.
The actor
Um,
who plays Tommy is a nobody, right? I don't like. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize him.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't click on his name in IMDb to find out if he said anything more, but
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah. But then he shows up. Then Tommy shows up. Because she's like, well, why do you need me? And Rocky just goes, you can't be that dumb.
Yeah.
It's like, you were bait. I was like, well, we all saw that coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. That's pretty funny.
I didn't like the weird Rocky like innuendo legs stuff with Kimberly.
Yeah,
That was
that was
weird.
that's what I'm saying. Like, it was dark. I was
Well, they
like,
had-
who are these people?
Everybody was just so unapologetically like gritty and awful, and so that's why I really liked. I mean, I didn't really like that part. It was creepy, but it sort of like it tracked in my opinion. Like, oh, you know, Rocky's such a creep that he's obviously going to be like fondling Kimberly and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
You know, everyone like they didn't they literally like crossed every line you could. There was like
Mhm.
drug abuse and murder and like sexual abuse and there
What would the Power Rangers not do?
And
Let's
they-
make sure it's all in one movie.
and they made Billy like this guy who like now runs like Lockheed Martin, and he's
Yeah.
like he's a weapon manufacturer, like selling blade blasters to the army.
Mhm.
And they made him gay, which is kind of cool. It's like a homage to David Yost, but
Mhm.
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, because they're like, oh, we all know you didn't sleep with Billy. Like there's like a
Yeah.
line like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Let's see what else. I like
well,
I kind of like the look of the Green Ranger shield. How it's like kind of like a projection.
I like the hologram shield. That was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Megazord fight for the few seconds we got looks good.
Yeah.
mhm.
I like their costumes in general. I like the rubber suits, kind of
Mhm.
like they had an interesting look. I was surprised with how many liberties they took design wise that they chose to keep the white diamonds all over those costumes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, the costumes were really good.
Yeah. And then at the end, it's revealed that Kimberly's not really Kimberly. She's Rita Repulsa.
Yeah, I did not see that one coming.
I
Because
remember
I was confused by the picture that you posted on Instagram because I saw that before I watched the movie, and I was like, why haven't I seen that picture yet? I was like, who was dead? And I just assumed that I had missed it. And then it showed, and he goes, no, Kimberly died in my arms. And I was like, oh, there it is. Then who's that? It was good.
I
Played
What?
by the actual actor who played Rita in the show.
I thought so. I was like, she looks way too good to be like not real Rita.
She was the face of Rita in the show.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Very cool. Yeah, I like that reveal. I for some reason when I misremembered that, like I couldn't, like as it was happening, I was like, oh right, yeah, she's Rita. But when it was starting, I was like, oh yeah, Kimberly's a double agent or something. But for some reason, I thought like I had like made up in my mind that she was like a clone made by the Machine Empire, like a robot. And then, but then
Don't
as
you
it
love when
started,
you make up your own endings in your head?
yeah, that's what I was like. Isn't that what it is? And then as it started happening, I was like, oh no, wait, I forgot. It's actually Rita. You know, which
Yeah.
makes way more sense because they talk about it a lot.
Yeah.
I did not see that one coming. That was a good ending. I was very surprised. I was like, what?
The helmets are my least favorite part. I thought that everything else about the costumes were cool.
Yeah, they don't have the visor look. They have like the two eyes, right?
They have like individual eyes. Maybe Zach has a visor, but it was kind of cool when Zach he threw the helmet at the dude and then it bounced off and then he stuck his head out so that he would land like on his head. I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah,
Zach does have a visor.
I didn't mind it. I felt like for me the helmets just looked like what they would look like if they were in a cyberpunk universe.
Well, it felt like that was the one thing they probably couldn't like copyright infringe on like the image of like this like you know obviously those helmets are.
It would have been cool if they had, since they were doing such a cyberpunky like holographic shield and stuff. It would have been cool if they had almost had like a holographic visor that would like cover their eyes. That would have been cool.
They were using machine guns even in the war part, you know.
Yeah,
I thought that was funny. Like we don't really get to see any blade blasters or Power Ranger weapons, even though they talk about them. And everybody had that same sword, and you know, with like the more like ergonomic handle, you know. I felt like I saw that sword like 3 times. Like
I kind of I don't know. It left me wanting more. Not in the sense of the story, but more of the prequel. Like I wanted to see more of what like happened in the battle. Like that was what I was more interested in. I was like, oh, that would be cool. And so it's almost like I want more to lead up to this one.
Well, it's so high concept. I think you're right that all the grittiness that it seems so egregious, like things you would never see in Power Rangers, like references to drug abuse and things like that, unless it's telling kids not to do drugs. It almost feels like we would have liked it more in general if it was just a like more gritty remake of a Megazord fight, of that whole battle, because then it's like, oh, it's nothing but really all it is an excuse to have modern special effects and costumes, you know. But
I don't know. I didn't like it then. I don't like it now. I'm just the old guy who's like, you know, my Power Rangers are just.
Well, it's not hurting anybody, you know. It sort of just exists almost as like, I mean, it exists in a bubble. And the comments I saw though were a little disappointing when people were like, I really want Power Rangers to be this and do this. It's like that I can never ever get behind. But as like a fun thing now and then, you know, like. I think when we talked about it earlier in the podcast, Doug, I was way less for it. But maybe now that we've watched so many episodes, it was sort of more fun to revisit it because it's just so different. Like it just slaps every Power Ranger trope in the face, you know? But
I do like what's Vanderbeek as Rocky. Like I'm just happy Rocky gets play. You know?
Yeah, it's the most depth we've seen from Rocky in a long time. You know.
Right.
We'll have to watch his Ninja Steel episode.
I know. It's like this was his revenge for not getting enough star time when he was an actual Power Ranger.
Well, it almost felt like probably the guy who played Matt Cordona, right? It's the guy who played. No, that's freaking Zack Ryder.
That's Zack Ryder. I was like
James Vanderbeek.
No. What's the name of the guy who plays Rocky?
James Vanderbeek.
Oh,
in real life, like
Santos.
oh right, oh is it
Um, gosh, why
Dos
is this?
Santos?
What did you say?
Is it? Hang on, I'll look it up. I can't remember. We can cut this part.
No, we're
We'll keep it.
gonna.
We'll keep. I want
For
to keep
everyone
it.
listening, it's just Mac
Steve
looking.
Cardenas. That's why I said it, because I said it's a similar last name. Yeah.
I got Santos because Rocky's last
Rocky
name is
DeSantos is
Yeah.
DeSantos. Yeah, no, Steve Cardenas. I almost feel like he probably wouldn't like this because they make Rocky such a piece of crap.
He
I'm
might
sure
like it though because he's like, I get a big role.
he gets a
Yeah,
big
he's
role,
like
but
the main character.
Yeah.
but the role in the short is such a it, like Kimberly saying stuff like "you were never really one of us." Like
Yeah.
that's what the fans think of Rocky. So
Yeah.
I hate it.
I'm sure Rocky is watching it like, well, I thought I was a Power Ranger. I'm not sure if he'd like it in that sense, where
That's
it's like,
true.
no,
That's
I am
true.
part of the team, so
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Poor Rocky.
Yeah.
I'm such a Rocky fangirl now. Like,
Yeah.
and long live Rocky.
Yeah.
he's the underdog,
Yeah.
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 Me too. I like Rocky.
But I definitely liked him. Like, if that Rocky kidnapped me, I'd be like, whatever you want.
Whatever you want. How'd you lose your leg? Yeah.
But gosh, what was I gonna say? When this came out, this was so popular.
Oh man, yeah.
It was all over the place.
I'm sure Power Rangers were not happy with it.
No, they had to take it down.
Yeah.
I'll get into some of that in a second, but I was just curious, Caitlin, before you joined this podcast and you learned the history of Power Rangers, how lost would you be in this?
So confused.
Like if you
I'd be
watched
like,
it
who the
blind,
fuck
yeah.
are all these people? I was like, why are they killing each other?
Yeah, Bulk and Skull would probably feel so weird that scene.
Yeah.
You sold us out.
Yeah, no, if you had me join in and be like, so we're gonna show you this fan movie. It is nothing like what Power Rangers is. I'd be very confused.
Yeah.
Well, funny enough, the first episode we showed you was like the closest you could get to this in a sense.
Yeah, RPM.
The RPM pilot is
I feel like I've grown
almost
since
this,
then.
yeah.
The feelings I had about Power Rangers back then are very different to what they are now.
I know. We should watch a later RPM just for fun.
I know
Right?
we can't now, but I'm just thinking we only watched one episode in our.
I've only ever watched one. I know.
In an entire year and a half.
Yeah, so Saban, when this came out, was like, no.
Yeah.
And then Shakar.
Shakar. I think it is Shakar. Yeah.
When it was taken down, he said in
Shankar.
an interview, he said, "Today, I'm deeply disappointed to learn that Saban Brands decided to attack my Power Rangers bootleg universe film. To all the viewers that enjoy the film, I consider this an outright infringement on freedom of expression and individualism." It goes on to more, but I don't know. He owns Power Rangers. It seems like
Well,
it's kind of a
technically they're both right, because in theory you're allowed to get away with things like this if it's not for profit and if it's under the parody guidelines.
Yeah.
So like and fan films, that's why fan films get to exist. But what you'll see is a history of fan films that are too good or having too high of a production value getting legal flack because it's too easy for fans to confuse them with official content. So it makes a lot of sense that Saban would be like, yeah, if anything, it's just good to have that legal paper trail of being like, we officially don't condone this tone in Power Rangers. You know what I mean? Like, this is something we would never officially do.
Yeah.
But obviously they are allowed to put it back up. So
yeah, they were able to put it back up with the rules that like before it says this is not Power Rangers kind of thing.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting, kind of jumping back into kind of just like the script and how the whole plot line. I thought it was very interesting how Rocky the entire time for the majority of the conversation was very much talking about how they were just kids and how they had been turned into soldiers. And I'm like, you like watch Power Rangers and it's just like all fun and dandy, but if that was real life, like they're just a bunch of teenagers.
And he says that in a little. I watched an interview, or not an interview. He made a video explaining why he did it. It was like an intro to the movie.
Yeah.
And he said that like he loved Power Rangers as a kid, and that he had that thought that like they're child soldiers, you know. And it effectively, what that means is that they would never have proper educations, they'd never be capable of proper relationships, and they would be suffering from PTSD. And so like that makes like add that as like the crucible for this short film, you know, like yeah, there's some logic in that in reinterpretation, you know. But
no,
what you do is you start a dojo and you live.
Yeah. Train
Yeah.
more child soldiers. And it's like obviously they still got plenty good grades because Tommy's a doctor. So,
Yeah.
you know?
Like, how did that happen? How did they never miss enough school to be like where they were held back?
That's why they were in school until they were 30.
Yeah.
They graduate in Turbo. They're like, finally, like they're shaving on the freaking podium, you know. So, yeah.
It'd be funny if once a Ranger, like you bring back one of them and Adam's like PTSD'd.
Yeah, like shell shock.
Well, not this again.
Yeah, like no.
When I was your age.
Yeah, it just starts blasting with the axe. Like, no, Adam, no. Yeah.
Just all of them end up in like a psych ward where they're like trying to tell the doctor that they were fighting aliens, and they're like, okay, well here's your med for the day.
Yeah, like an orderly comes in wearing a primary color and they're like, get out of here. Nothing but grays and whites. Like, get out of here.
I think if it was maybe just toned down a little bit, maybe I don't know what it is. I'd have to rethink what I don't like about it. I was trying to think about this because I was like, I like all the Batmans. There's freaking Adam West too, you know.
Well, this is like the Frank Miller Power Rangers.
Exactly.
Like Dark Knight Returns. Yeah.
And I like that. I don't know what it was. It just kind of maybe it was just at the time like people were like, this is what the reboot needs to be. And I was like, no.
Well, you don't like Robin saying F Batman and Titans, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like this is kind of like that, you know, where it's like there's a middle ground that you're not reaching for. Like obviously the short film was trying to be like super exploitative on purpose, but there's something to be said, you're right, Doug, about how like what it does right could be implemented into Power Rangers as long as they don't cross a certain line. You know, like there could be maybe like a more like special effects heavy version of it, but it could never be this R-rated.
Yeah.
You know?
I like James Vanderbeek as Rocky though. He's cool.
He's definitely not Hispanic though. Yeah.
I think that's why I kept getting confused about whether it was Rocky or not. I was like, wait, who is this supposed to be?
Dude, I don't know. I didn't know Rocky was Hispanic until like during this podcast. Yeah.
His last name is Santos.
I know.
Santos. Yeah. Well, I learned it. I guess it officially hit home for me when he said he was making tamales for Christmas. I never like that was when I finally clicked. I was like, oh right, duh, like of course.
Of course he'd be making
tamales for Christmas. But James Vanderbeek's Canadian, so like as far like he's literally on the other side of the he's the hat, you know.
Yeah.
I got some quotes here from some Rangers.
Okay, real Rangers. Okay.
So
cool.
Jason David Frank, Tommy.
Yeah.
He says, I know there's a lot of fans out there that love it and all that stuff. And these were from 2015 that I pulled,
right.
So these could have been changed. Who are out there and love it and all that stuff. I'm just a PG-13 guy. The cuss words, the drugs, all that stuff, it doesn't fly with me. The problem is Power Rangers are still connected to adults and kids. The Super Mega Force and Dino Charge are still on Nickelodeon. So you can't take a brand like this and reboot it so dark and gritty. This is still a kid's brand.
That's true. Everything you said's true. You know, yeah.
Then we got Walter Jones.
Okay, what'd Walter say?
Yeah.
Zach had a big part in it, so.
Yeah.
Which one's Walter?
Zach.
That's the black.
Zach,
yeah.
okay, got it.
He says, I won't be posting the video of the Power Rangers reboot video because I still have fans that are kids. I will say I thought it was very well done and entertaining. I'm looking forward to the other interpretations of this amazing show. I am blessed to have had the pleasure of helping to create here in the States. It's Morphin Time.
Okay,
Aw.
he was more
Yeah.
neutral on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I feel
then
like we
Amy
angered
Jo.
Dad with
Amy Jo
Tommy's.
commented. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Kimberly has something to say.
Yeah. She said, okay, so you've all probably seen it already, but I just wanted to share. Personally, I think it's kind of awesome, but don't tell Saban that. I might get sued.
I'm gonna get sued. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's clearly not for kids.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
feel like Tommy. Wait, was it who was first?
Tommy.
Tommy.
Yeah.
His is like we've angered Dad.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like,
Well,
oh, I'm sorry.
Tommy's like, we've all had our fun here, but time to go home. You know?
Yeah. Let's not say we
Yeah.
did it. Let's not.
I put it up on our Instagram like right before we started, and it's way more thumbs up than thumbs down. Like it's not even close.
Oh, people! I'm sure the power because those are all adults. They all love it. You
Yeah.
kidding me? We don't have any 8-year-olds following us.
Yeah.
It's all freaking
Hopefully.
anti-Green Ranger women, guys. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Most of our fans are great.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
mean that, but
Just some quick comments. I thought it was dope. Sorry if I'm not reading your usernames, but I'm just going to go really quick.
okay.
So I thought it was dope. And then Ryan Unicomb, he's the guy who actually, I keep bringing him up. He leaked all what the 2017 sequels were going to be.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah. He commented, abysmal professionally put together for sure, but missing any of the heart I thought behind the originals. It was absolutely ugly.
Well, that's true, but you can't really deny that that's the point of it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, it's like yeah, it doesn't have the heart, but it never tried to. So I
No,
don't
it's
really know.
supposed to be what happens when all the kids grow up.
Yeah, this is like the apartheid version of Power Rangers.
Yeah.
But
And then I enjoyed the dark twisted take for sure. You should do a whole up on it. We're doing that right now.
here we go. Here it
Yeah.
is. Yay.
And then there's a lot, but let's see. Better than the 2017 PR movie. What do you think? It's at least something.
It's better in some ways than that movie.
Yeah.
Like in the sense that I don't know.
It's hard because you're comparing content of an hour and a half to 14 minutes.
I will say that I had a lot of fun watching this.
Mhm.
And the last time we watched a 2017 movie, I didn't have any fun. So I think that's like part of that, I could say that.
Here's
Yeah.
my thing. I don't think I ever finished the 2017 because I was watching it on a ship and I wasn't a Power Rangers fan yet. But
You okay?
I think I turned it off. I would watch this multiple times.
I thought the costumes were better in this.
The costumes were better in this.
I'd much rather they look like that. Yeah.
Yeah, they were.
Like
I mean,
maybe if they had gone with the quality of this, with maybe the story of that, and then made it together, maybe it would have been a good movie.
I think that. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say that I think that like we were talking about Psycho Gorman last week. I think that this is what I was trying to say when I was like, well, you could potentially do something like Psycho Gorman that's more of a direct Power Ranger homage and just do it generic. Like I think that like if you were gonna build a universe out of this vision of Power Rangers, if you didn't call them Power Rangers, if they were different colors, even they all had different names, then maybe that would be enjoyable in its own way because it's trying to be something different. It's trying to be like, it's trying to be an homage, but it's also trying to be its own thing. Like, there's a comic that I'm always reminded of when we watch this short film, and I'll try to find it right now. But it's a short film by this comic, or sorry, it's a comic. Did I say short film? I meant to say comic.
Yeah.
It's this comic by this guy called Ulysses Farinas, and he did this book that was like taking all these things. Dark Horse did it. Gamma is what it's called. It was like a short Dark Horse Presents book, and oh yeah, they got canceled. Or no, like it came out, but like they were going to do like an official release, and it didn't happen.
Got it.
But Gamma is effectively this, but like on a larger scale and not as dark in some ways, but
Mhm.
but similarly dark in other ways.
Got it.
And the way that it operates is it's like taking all these things that we liked as kids, like Power Rangers and Pokemon, specifically those two things, and combining them into a world where we are at war with monsters, like kaiju level monsters like Godzilla and stuff like that. And the Power Rangers are kind of like the army, like that's what it's like to be a soldier, is that you look like a Power Ranger. And the main character is this dude named Dusty, and he's supposed to be Ash. He's like the best Pokemon trainer in the world, but they're not Pokemon. And because he's the best Pokemon trainer in the world, they think he'll be like this incredible general. So they make him fight, and he's got like the Green Ranger shield, and there's all these other Power Rangers that he fights alongside. But then like as the war is progressing, it's becoming like more and like obviously more and more unwinnable, and they're just not doing well. And there's a part where they're like evacuating this war zone, and he sends his Pikachu like creature, like he has like a little lightning mouse type creature. He like sends it out to like defend him so that he can escape, and then you just watch you get eaten alive. It's like super dark, but it's also like that perfect level of kind of like, it's dark, but it's also got that parody going where it's funny, but colorfully I feel like just aesthetically it looks more like Power Rangers than this short film does. But I would recommend it to anybody that likes this movie, because it's definitely got very similar vibes.
Yeah. All right. Last thing before we go, what do you think like Alpha looks like in this universe?
We never saw him. I imagine he's got a lot of exposed wiring.
Yeah. Probably has
Kinda
like
like Ben in Treasure Planet.
Maybe. Yeah. Go ahead.
I feel like he's probably like he has a potty mouth like Ted, like the bear.
He's more like Ted.
Yeah.
I wonder if maybe he is like, he has like a human skull or something. You know, like, I don't know. I'm gonna throw this image in the
I wonder
chat.
what Zordon would look like.
Huh. What about like Astronema and Andros?
Astronema would probably look freaking sick. You wouldn't have to change much.
Yeah.
I don't know about the Space Rangers. They probably would look sort of similar. Maybe more like uniforms. Maybe they would try to make them more like Star Trek.
Yeah. Cool. But yeah, I feel like, you know, it's 2015, so there's never going to be a sequel. We would have had it by now.
Right.
I mean, I don't even know what that guy does now. He produces movies still. He's gone on to bigger projects, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so big. I'm just surprised he never kind of followed up with it. Maybe the Saban dispute was like, well,
Enough
it's
to
not
turn him
worth
off
it
from it.
to do
Yeah.
another one.
Well, at this point, it feels like it was so hard for them to do this one that maybe it just isn't worth it. Like they
Yeah.
had so many things going. Like even like getting Katie Sackhoff back would probably be hard.
Yeah.
You know,
Especially now. Yeah.
especially now.
Yeah. Cool. I think that's it. Yeah. Anything else you guys want to say?
No.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's see. Next week, maybe we'll jump into Ninja Steel. Episode
Yay.
1. Yeah.
So have we
Yep.
seen episode 1?
We've never done episode 1. No.
I thought we did. Was that a different season?
We were going to, and then we switched at the last second.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm getting it confused with Samurai. But I thought I remember one where they like go to a mall or something.
There's no
Yeah.
mall.
Okay.
You might be thinking of the Christmas episode.
Yeah.
Was that a Ninja Steel Christmas? Did we watch a Ninja Steel?
We watched the Halloween Ninja Steel.
Right. We watched the Halloween Ninja Steel.
We
Yeah.
watched
Ninja
one.
Spin.
We watched one where they meet the Gold Ranger.
That was Ninja Steel? I thought that was Samurai.
No, yeah. Well, we watched it way before, like way.
You mean the Gold Ranger that's like the cowboy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Remember, like the villain was freezing people or doing something.
No, I barely remember. He's got the guitar sword. I don't remember at all.
Yeah. Sweet. Well, if you're watching this on the YouTube version, like it, subscribe, leave a comment, and we'll see you next week. It's not less phenomenal. It's more phenomenal.
phenomenal. Yay!